it's Elisa and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I thought we would do my January wrap-up video for the books I have read this month. So I have read 7 books this month. I'll start with the first one I read, which was 5 Survive. I read this New Year's Day. So yes, 5 Survive, if you don't know what it's about, it is about 8 hours. I'll read the descriptions of these books to you guys, okay? 8 hours, 6 friends, 5 survive. A road trip turns deadly in this addictive YA thriller from the best-selling author of the worldwide phenomenon, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Red Kinney is on a road trip for spring break with 5 friends. Her best friend, the older brother, his perfect girlfriend, a secret crush, a classmate, and a killer. When their RV breaks down in the middle of nowhere with no cell service, they soon realize this is no accident. They have been trapped by someone out there in the dark. Someone who clearly wants one of them dead. With 8 hours until dawn, the 6 friends must escape or figure out which one of them is the target. But is there a liar among them? Buried secrets will be forced to light, and tensions inside the RV will reach deadly levels. Not all of them will survive the night. Okay, so here's what I am gonna say. I am not a thriller girly. I didn't know it was a thriller, so I was shocked to learn that right now. But it was really, really good. There were some parts where I felt like it was boring a little bit, just because I wasn't like really connecting. But the plot twist, and then the ending with the letter, it made me cry. I was sobbing. Ugh, yes, I gave that book 4 stars, which was a really strong start to 2024. The next book I read is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. Okay, and here, let me read the little thing. Okay, let me read the little thing. But, okay, human or vampire, the rules of survival are always the same. Never trust, never yield, and always, always guard your heart. The adopted human daughter of the Nightborn vampire kingdom, Aurea, carved her place in the world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is entering the Kajari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. But winning won't be easy amongst the most vicious warriors from all 3 vampire houses. To survive, Aurea is forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Rain is dangerous. He is a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, and her greatest competition. Yet what terrifies Aurea most of all is that she finds herself oddly drawn to him. But there's no room for compassion in the Kajari. War of the House of Night brews, shattering everything that Aurea thought she knew about her home, and Rain may understand her more than anyone. But their blossoming attraction could be her downfall in a kingdom where nothing is more deadly than love. The Serpent and the Wings of the Night is the first book in a new series of heart-wrenching romance, dark magic, and bloodthirsty intrigue, perfect for fans from Blood and Ash and A Court of Thorns and Roses. Okay. Now, how do I even say this? The banter, the jabs at each other, so good. And then it was just so good. I will say I started this book last year, but I was not a fantasy girly really at all last year. So I listened to the audiobook, and then the audiobook got me so interested. It got me hooked on the book, honestly. And so that was so much fun. Yes, I was like kicking my feet and giggling. And then the plot twist. The plot twist happened. I was not expecting that, right? It's a rivals to lovers. And I can't spoil what happens next. But I was shocked. And so for that, I give this book 5 stars. 5 stars. It was so good. Yeah. Like, I want to read this book again. I kind of want to go into the second book, which is, right here, which is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King? The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. So, next, I was just scrolling through TikTok like one does, and I saw this quote for this book, right? And it's called Dark Obsession, which is Whiskey Men, Wounded Heroes #2 by Hope Ford. Okay, so it was cute. It was cute. It was a short story. I'll read it to you. Curvy divorcee and the wounded hero together in an against all odds romance. When you're on a date with one man and get a text from another. Oh. Anyways, yeah. I'm not gonna read that. But so, what was her name? Oh my gosh. Olivia. Okay. Olivia is a hairdresser, and then Jason is the wounded hero, and during he was like what are they called? Like a missionary? I don't know. But yeah, he's a wounded hero. Mercenary. That's it, right? Mercenary? Yes. He was a mercenary. And then, during his time over there, he got blinded. And so through the book, he's like processing that because there's still hope that he can get his eyesight back. And he like isolated himself a lot. And so his best friend takes him to go get a haircut. And then that's when they meet. And, you know, it was just a very, spice book. Definitely insta-lovey for me. But again, it was a short story. I gave it 3 stars. 3. Next, we have Northwoods by Amy Pease. And this is it takes place in a small resort town, and this police officer, Eli North, he also was in Afghanistan, and then he came back and he's suffering from PTSD, and he works on his mom's force because she's the sheriff, and he's a cop now, and so he has to go and solve this murder that happens in their town. It was honestly not what I was expecting, because I didn't even know what I was expecting. It kind of sounded interesting, but I didn't know what I was getting. Basically, the book follows Eli North, who is the guy who's a cop, and his life is like going downhill. And I will say, you need to check your trigger warnings, because there are some definite triggers in this book. Yeah. Basically, he goes on to solve a murder and a disappearance. Yeah. It was good. It was actually good. So I gave it 4 stars. very out of my comfort zone. So, yeah. The next book I read is Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. Okay. Okay. So, again, check your trigger warnings. This one talks about abuse. Yes. So, it can definitely be triggering. I feel like if you just go in, maybe take like this much out of it, it still would have been a good book. But it was just very long. A very long book. I did like it though. I was frustrated because it was just like arguments. I get it. They're like enemies to lovers, but the enemies was enemying, if that makes sense, because it went on forever. I mean, in the other books, it wasn't like this, but I did love to see like their history with each other. It was cute. Yes, I gave it 4 stars, and I think here we go. Here's another quote. Anyways, it was like, I wanted, what did it say? I wanted her, I wanted all of her, and I would do anything to prove to her that I'm worthy of her. It was something like that. Like, that's so cute. That's so, yes, that's like melt-worthy. Okay, next I read Part of Your World. And this book also mentions abuse. So, again, check your triggers. I gave this book 5 stars, right? This was my first Abby Jimenez book, and you know, I was loving it. I was listening to it, the audiobook as well as reading. Yeah. Now, I will say I was so frustrated because there was like you know, basically she is a doctor in the city, and he is the mayor of a very, very small town. She's rich, he's not rich. You know, like you can tell they're the complete opposites. And after her car breaks down going to a funeral, her and Daniel meet. Her being Alexis, her name is Alexis, meets, and he helps her get her car like out of a ditch. And then they meet again like a few hours later at a bar, and then they have, so it does have the one night stand trope, but it does blossom into something more. I will say that she was so worried about being cut off instead of like going and following her heart that frustrated me. And then all of her family members and friends, except for one, was pushing her to get back with her abusive ex. And I was like, no. Literally on 351, page 351. I achieved a kind of clarity I never thought possible. My whole life, I'd always felt like a little fractured and scattered, probably because it was always someone else trying to decide what I needed to be. I was a mosaic of someone else's design, where none of the fragments were put in the right place, and now I had finally put myself together, and I recognized myself for the very first time. And that just spoke to me. It made me want to like cry, and it made me even though I don't know her, proud of her, because like she's realizing her worth. Okay, and last but certainly not least, I read Rosie's Traveling Tea Shop by Rebecca Raisin, which I gave 4 stars. And this book, okay, I also started it last year, but I never finished it. And after reading like mystery romances and mysteries and high stakes fantasy, I just wanted something cozy. So this was a cozy read and I loved it. So this is what it is, okay? The trip of a lifetime. Rosie Lewis has her life together. A swanky job as a Michelin-starred sous chef, a loving husband, and future children scheduled for exactly January 2021. That's until she comes home one day to find her husband's pre-packed bag and a confession that he's had an affair. Heartbroken and devastated, Rosie drowns her sorrows in a glass or three of wine, only to discover the following morning that she has spontaneously invested in a bright pink camper van to facilitate her grand plans to travel the country. Now Rosie is about to embark on the trip of a lifetime and the chance to change her life. With Poppy, her newfound traveling tea shop in tow, nothing could go wrong, could it? And literally, I love the characters we're introduced to when she's traveling, like Aria and Max, and I think Max's mom's name is Nora. Yes, I love those characters. They're so good. Yes, this is a closed door romance, so there's no spice or anything. Um, it wasn't it wasn't until the, oh my goodness, it wasn't till the end of the book that she started realizing um that she needed to let go of what happened, because that was a them problem, not a her problem that happened. And yeah, it kind of inspired me. I'm like, I want to go and start traveling. Yeah. So those are the 7 books I read in January, and I'll see you all in the next video.